This is basically my video giving my reasons why I left the church. And this probably will begin a series of videos, not just about, my church experiences, but other experiences in my life as well. But the number one reason today is me leaving the church. Well, this particular church that I was in, I left on February 12th. I think that was my last time attending. And it had been a while, I had been a member of this church for maybe about a year and a half. And there were little things that I was picking up here and there, letting me know that maybe what the pastor is talking about is not entirely accurate. But, I pushed it to the back of my mind or whatever, and I continued to attend because my husband was a member there when we married. And so I just, joined the church primarily because after I attended a while, I was like, okay, it's okay or whatever, and I joined because he was there. But throughout the time, like I said, there were certain things that the pastor would say that to me didn't line up scripturally, and as well there were examples that she would give that just were foolish. She had made a statement about, we were talking about how words have power, which I agree that they do, but she was saying how words reverberate in the air, and using the scripture that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. And so she said, do you guys know that years ago scientists were creating a machine to capture the words of Jesus? And I was sitting there looking like, really? I mean, did she really just say what I thought she said? Because to me, that's like the most dumb thing that anybody could ever say and anybody could actually ever believe. And so, just little bitty things like that. And so, coming up to when I left, we had this prophetic summit, and she had these different prophets coming to the church. And one guy she had coming from New Jersey, his name was Michael Marshall, Prophet Michael Marshall. No, he came from North Carolina, somewhere in North Carolina. But anyway, when he got up, my first problem with him was that he didn't open the Bible for almost an hour. He got up and he was talking about, I did this, and I gave a sister a word here and it came true, and I told this brother this and it happened, and I did this, and and it was nothing about Jesus, no glorifying God, no reading no scriptures or anything like that. And I have a big problem with that. When you get up in the church and you're speaking to a congregation of people, I'm there to hear the word and to hear the scriptures, not to hear a rundown of what you think that you've accomplished, in this world. So as he goes on, he starts to talk about he had attended another prophet service in which he saw that prophet pray over, have the people bring in bread and water, and pray over the bread and water. And after the people ate the bread and the water, then he said people began to get healed, miracles were performed, people were receiving gold and silver fillings in their mouths, and he was one of the ones that received some of these fillings in his mouth, and that if we wanted to see them, we could. And I'm sitting there saying, okay, so what does this have to do with God? I mean, show me in the scripture where God ever put feelings in people's mouths. When we have people with real ailments and real issues. For instance, me, I'm a quadriplegic from an car accident in 2007. I broke my neck, and so I'm paralyzed basically from the chest down. I can't use this hand at all, and I have limited use of this hand. So if I'm sitting in a church, what good is a filling in my tooth going to do for me? None whatsoever. So he decides that he wants the people at the church to bring in bread and water. And the pastor was like, okay, that's fine. And I'm sitting there saying, come on, pastor. You gotta be kidding me. And it just bothered me and my husband so bad that we did not attend the following Friday night, that service. So after the whole thing was over, and I brought up my concerns to her, and I let her know that I didn't think that he was legitimate, she went to his defense, just like a mother hen protecting her biddies. Just, I know he's a man of God. And you know what I'm saying? There are people that I know that are saved. Well, I want to believe that they're saved. But I will not bet my life on anybody. I'm not going to bat for anybody and say, well, I know that brother so-and-so is a man of God. Because I don't live my life 24 hours a day with this person. So I can't vouch for them and say that I know what they are, because ultimately I don't. Only God knows.